Welcome to Hello with Emilio, the show where I say hello to many new things. Today on my show, we're going to do an experiment where I'm going to say hello to grade 8 with a science date. So let's meet my date. Her name is Lauren and she ain't boring.
Hi Emilio, I'm so excited for our science date.
Thanks for joining us, Lauren. Well, Lauren, are you ready for this Eggcelent experiment? Well, I hope so, because exactly what you're going to see are some crazy fun ideas. So, let's see what we need for this experiment. You will need not one, not two, but 3 eggs. You will also need not one, not two, but 3 tall glasses. You will also need some salt with a tablespoon. You will also need a stir stick, and you will definitely need water. Well, before we begin this egg experiment, I have a question for you. What do you think the word buoyancy means?
Now, does buoyancy mean to bounce?
Good answer. Well, let's get the right definition. It means the ability or tendency to float in water or air or something fluid. So, one more thing you will need for this date are some goggles. This is for your safety, just in case you touch the salt and then might touch your eye. You want to keep your face nice and fresh, like I do for my date. Let's begin. So, I have my 3 tall glasses is what I'm going to start with, and they are empty. So what do you think the first thing we need to do is?
Fill the cups with water.
That's right, fill it with water. So I'm gonna pour each glass about halfway full. 1, 2, and 3. Now, because I said we need to use the salt, what happens next?
Now we add the salt.
We are going to pour the salt. You're right. But the first one, I'm going to leave no salt. The second one, I'm going to put a lot of salt. So this is 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. Let's do one more. 4 tablespoons. And I'm going to do the same to the next one. 1, 2, 3, and one more is 4. Now, let's take our straw or a stir stick and mix it up really, really good. Really get it going. Lots of good stir. We are making salt water. Nice big stir. Same to the next one. Nice big stir. Stir it again. So let that sit for a little bit just to dissolve into there. Now, let's guess what's going to happen when I put the first egg in the water with no salt. What do you think?
It'll sink.
Good guess. Let's see. Ooh, the egg sinks to the bottom. Now, let's try the second glass. Do you think the egg will sink again?
It'll sink.
Let's see. No, the egg floats. So cool. So now that we saw this one, What do you think is going to happen to the third one? Same water, same salt.
It'll float.
Good, it will float again. Amazing! Now, what do you think if I add a little bit more water to this? What will happen?
It'll sink.
Good answer. Let's see. Interesting. See? The egg doesn't float right to the top. It kind of stays where it was because we added more water. Wow! This is like magic to me. Wow! So, why do we think that happened? Well, the reason why that happened was because salt water is denser than fresh water because of its salt content. The egg will sink in the fresh water because it has greater density than the water. But the egg will float in the salt water because when salt is added to water, its density becomes greater than that of the egg. And then in the third glass, we added more water. So because there is more water in that one, the water becomes a little bit less dense even with the salt in it. So the egg still stays floating but doesn't float right to the top. However, if we added more salt, the egg would have floated to the top. Thanks for joining us, Lauren.